Good morning, children. Welcome to another section of our EVS class. Hope you all are fine and staying safe at your home. Today, we are going to start a new chapter from Social Studies. Chapter 6 Attaining Freedom. Children, do you know what is attaining freedom? You know that it is achieving freedom. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about how our India achieved freedom from British. Before that, here are some pictures for you. Do you know who is this? This is Bhagat Singh. The next picture. Yes, I definitely know that you have the correct answer. Who is this? Mahatma Gandhi, father of our nation. Can you tell me why they are important in Indian history? Let's study their importance in this chapter. And in this chapter, we are also studying how the India get free from British. So let's move on it. We all know British has ruled India for more than 100 long years. Under their rules, our India were not really free. You know why? Because they made rules for their satisfaction and for their own happiness. They were called as Colonial Power. They came here for trading in India. Do you know how they started trading? They arrived at Gujarat and started trading such as cloth and spices. Gradually, they established the trading company at Mumbai, Madras means the Chennai, and in Bengal. And they named their company as East Indian Company. Later, the British gained the control and power over the India. And they forced Indian farmers to cultivate the raw materials for making cloth such as indigo and cotton. And one thing also, Indians were not permitted to open any factories and mills, and they are forced to buy the British goods because they are not interested to make Indian goods in our India. There was a revolt that occurs in 1857. After the revolt, several Indians wanted to change the way British ruled them. This started struggle which led to freedom from British rule. At that time, many people thought that an organization was needed to lead a new nationalist movement for freedom. In 1885, some people at Bombay started an organization. They named it as Indian National Congress. The British learned the unity of our country. They feared and they planned to divide our country. They decided to partition the Bengal. Because if I'll make a group in class, you're very strong. But if I'm going to divide you in different groups, then the unity of that group has a strength. But that strength will be reduces when you are at different group. The British also do the same thing. They thought that a divided state would weaken than the nationalist movement in Bengal. So they started partition Bengal in 1905. At that time, people at Bengal were started several strikes and protests against their partition. But this protest and meeting has not prevented partition. Some leaders felt that more to boycott foreign goods and use Indian goods. Because if they boycott the British goods, then they have more opportunity to make Indian goods. This is called Swadeshi movement. And in Swadeshi movement, they encourage the Indian people to make the Indian goods and they use the Indian goods more. They neglect the use of foreign goods or they avoid the use of foreign goods. This idea was spread by Bal Gangadhar Tilak. And By this protest, their partition was removed in 1911. And after all this, next another person came to India to struggle against the British. When India struggled against British, Mahatma Gandhi, our father of nation, who was working against the British in South Africa, he believed in ahimsa. That means non-violence. So he started non-violent struggle that is called Satyagraha. When he arrived in India, he asked the people to do protests and marches against British peacefully. So he started Satyagraha and non-violence protests against the British for the freedom. So that's about the beginning of freedom. We can study more about the struggle for freedom on the next section. So children, read the textbook. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.